Boruto Uzumaki might already be planning his own funeral. No, seriously. While everyone is talking about how he and Kawaki can barely scratch Jura, Boruto in the last chapter he offered Momoshiki the driver's seat of his body if it means that Momoshiki could kill Jura. But here's a dark twist. Boruto may not be expecting to come back. This isn't just about defeating Jura, it might be about setting the stage for Kawaki to kill him immediately after the battle's over. That's right, Boruto could be laying down the ultimate sacrifice, and if you've been paying attention, which I know you guys have, it's exactly the kind of Shadow Hokage move that makes him one of the most bleakest, most selfless protagonists that we've seen and shonen so far. We're going to break it all down in today's newest Naruto Explained video where your OBC, your original Boruto chief, paints a picture for why Boruto's trump card against Momoshiki might be darker and have Boruto showing he's got bigger balls than anyone expected. Also, the chapter does drop on the 19th this month, so spoilers should be dropping any day now by the time you guys are seeing this video on Sunday. When the spoilers drop, I'll have them up the same day, and for the review it depends on when the spoilers drop because the review editor typically needs 2 days to fully edit reviews to keep the quality you've gotten for all 25 reviews and counting for Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. Shouts out to my guy Zoro. So I thank you for your patience and your understanding. Finally, if you haven't already, make sure to check out and subscribe to my other 2 anime channels linked in the description box, my Anime Explained channel and my Everything One Piece Explained channel if you want to see lore-based breakdowns for other series. So we're going to start things off right away with Boruto's desperation about Jura. Jura isn't just any regular villain. He tanked Boruto's attacks, and once he got serious, that boy said, "Oh, you cut my leg off," and he hit Boruto a few times, knocked him unconscious, and was about to kill him. He also shrugged off Kawaki's Ishiki level power, and even if the two work together, Kawaki made it clear beforehand and even afterwards they can't beat him, because if they could have defeated Jura, then Kawaki would have suggested it, because Jura is the apex predator, the biggest threat to the planet right now. He didn't. They ran away like cowards. Or if that pisses you off that I said cowards, we'll use a better phrase. They ran away because they know it's smarter to attack him once they powered up. This is why Boruto turned to Momoshiki, because stacking his own strength on top of Momoshiki's power that might finally reach the power ceiling needed to be able to take down Jura. But Boruto's willingness to give Momoshiki control, it isn't just desperation, it's really a setup. Remember back in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 15 what happened? Boruto told Kawaki flat out, if Momoshiki ever takes over, he needed Kawaki to kill him. This shows us Boruto's mindset. Jura isn't the end game really, it's truly Momoshiki. Boruto knows that even if Jura falls, the real danger to the world, it is sitting in his own DNA, because Momoshiki getting control of his body puts Kawaki in danger. By putting Kawaki in danger, or potentially Akibi, we have to see where that's going, it could result in a chakra fruit being used. This brings me to the Shadow Hokage mentality that Boruto has inherited from Sasuke, which that speaks volumes to how good of a teacher Sasuke is, that after 1 year of directly training Boruto while they're rogue ninjas, Boruto has evolved to this point. Boruto has always wanted to lean into that Shadow Hokage ideal because it's something he inherited as a part of Sasuke's Will of Fire. Protect the village, protect the people, even if it means doing the impossible choice, even if it means being hated. That's why a potential self-sacrifice, in my opinion, is so in character and so on brand for Boruto. He's not looking for glory. He's not looking for statues. He's not looking for the love of the people of Konoha. In fact, he even told Kawaki in chapter 15, he's fine with Konoha hating him because right now Konoha is operating at the way that it should. He's willing to be hated, to die forgotten, so long as the village he loves, the people he loves inside the village, they all stay safe. This mentality shows, in my opinion, just how broken, or rather how weighed down Boruto has become under the burden of omnipotence. Imagine living with the knowledge that everyone sees you as a traitor, Everyone sees you as the person that killed your father and your mother, despite the fact that you know that they are sealed away. And the only one who truly understands you are people like Kashin Koji and Shikamaru, who they have to actively fight omnipotence in order to assist you because their memories have been swapped around. You have Sada and Sumire who are inside the village, but they can't be there with you. And in the back of your mind, you know that Momoshiki's there. He's been quiet, but what's to say Momoshiki's always going to be quiet? That's the kind of isolation that pushes you towards the darkest form of selflessness. Boruto deciding to let himself die, it means removing the Momoshiki threat, and that is basically him proving that being a Hokage, it isn't about a title. That's the whole purpose of Shadow Hokage. That is not a real rank. Yet Boruto, in so many ways, is acting as a Hokage would, despite Boruto never having wanted that title. Because a Hokage always puts the village first, or rather a good one should. We have seen times where personal feelings get in the way like Naruto, but that's extremely rare. Being a Hokage and being a Shadow Hokage, it truly at its core means carrying the heaviest burdens that others can't do. That way those people don't succumb to the weight of the burdens that you are carrying for them. This gets even deeper when you go into the samurai parallels as well as the folklore parallels, because this is a inverse to Momotaro, because longtime viewers of the channel, you know that Momoshiki is modeled after the Japanese folktale of Momotaro the Peach Boy, who defeats demons with allies. But Boruto, his story inverts that tale. Instead of Momotaro slaying demons, Boruto has the demon inside of him. Instead of allies saving him, Kawaki is being asked by Boruto, his closest friend, ironically the person that he views like a brother, to be the one that strikes him down. When you add all of that in for Boruto's situation, look at the Momotaro story, it's a corrupted, tragic mirror of one of the most iconic folk hero stories in Japan, where victory is in this case coming in the form of self-erasure. Obviously, I don't think that Ikimoto will have the balls to kill Boruto off. I've moved off the stance I've had before that this might have a bittersweet ending, but I don't fully rule it out either. But I've moved away from that stance because Boruto at the end of the day is a gateway shonen. It's a lot more subtle than your typical gateway shonens, but it's still a gateway shonen. I don't think we get an ending like that, though I would be pleasantly surprised if he pulled an Attack on Titan. Now, when you get into the Minamoto clan, the super OG subscribers know this story. The new ones here, you might not. So the Minamoto clan, they were a samurai clan who survived, and the way that they often survived, it often hinged on sacrifice and betrayal from within the family itself. Ironically, the Minamoto clan, that's part of where Minato's name was drawn inspiration from, as well as some of his character writing, but we'll get into that in a whole nother video. So Boruto and Kawaki's situation, it echoes this. You have two brothers who are bound by duty, where one must be prepared to kill the other for the clan's survival. In that Minamoto clan story, it very much so echoes the story of Boruto, Kawaki, and Naruto. You had a adopted child from another clan being taken in, ends up betraying the Minamoto clan, ends up killing the father, the head of the clan, and then sends the heir into exile. The heir builds up allies and builds up his strength. Then he comes back to his homeland and he slays the brother that drove him out. Boruto and Kawaki are walking a similar path, albeit differently. Now, another tale is a legendary one that you likely know because this got turned into a live action movie. This is the story of the 47 Ronin. So this legendary story is one about loyalty. It ends with the samurai avenging their master, but knowing that after they do so, they have to die. That's why they commit suicide in order to preserve his honor. Hopefully YouTube does not age restrict the video for me even saying that term. But I said it to say this: Boruto's potential death after Jura, it does mirror this to an extent. Defeat the enemy, accept death as a necessary price to be paid, and leave the world safer even if your name is tarnished in the process. Because if Boruto dies and Kawaki kills him, unless omnipotence has been reversed, people are going to look at Boruto and go, oh, okay, this is somebody that we can pee on his carcass because he's a traitor, he killed the Hokage. In that sense, Boruto embodies the samurai duty more than shinobi glory. Victory through sacrifice, not through survival. And this gets even deeper, in my opinion, when you look at Boruto's situation from a different perspective. You look at it from the lens of the theme of borrowed time. So let's rewind to Boruto Part 1, around chapters 64, 65, 66, and 67. So Boruto had already made peace with Kawaki killing him back then. He allowed Kawaki to kill him because Momoshiki took over, saw that Naruto was not going to be able to fight Boruto because that's his child, and Momoshiki was going to kill Naruto because Naruto wasn't going to fight back. But when Kawaki killed Boruto, Momoshiki interfered and he brought him back to life. What Boruto, in my opinion, if you look at it from this perspective, did not realize is that he wasn't so much saved. We all know Momoshiki did that for his own self-interest. He was scared to die, but looking at it from this perspective, you could argue this is basically divine intervention, placing Boruto on borrowed time, given the information we have in hindsight. He's a living weapon with a hidden expiration date. Allow me to explain what I mean. So that's why Jura's appearance is so poetic, because Kashin Koji saw all these possible alternate timelines, and Jura was a threat in damn near all of them. If Boruto had died, there would be nobody to stop Jura. However, right now, if Boruto, now that he's survived the 3 years since the moment Kawaki initially killed him, if Boruto has now survived and they defeat Jura, and Boruto dies after using Momoshiki to fully destroy Jura, it now validates that Momoshiki only preserved him from a narrative perspective to keep him along long enough to fulfill a larger destiny, Boruto saving the shinobi world several years later. In other words, Boruto, for the too long did not read or too long did not watch, Boruto's entire second chance at life, it might have just been fate's way of ensuring that Jura might be stopped. Momoshiki was not acting knowingly on the behest of fate, but that's typically how those things happen, especially when you get into the Japanese stories. This also creates a dark legacy for Boruto's choice. If Boruto does let Kawaki kill him after Jura, it completes a tragic circle. He saved the world. He dies unloved, maybe even hated. It's a bittersweet ending. He achieves the purest form of the Hokage spirit and the Shadow Hokage spirit itself. Sacrifice without recognition. More so Shadow Hokage, because he would basically be getting the Itachi treatment. This isn't Naruto's hopeful, bright story that we went through for 72 volumes, 73 counting Naruto Gaiden. And before you say, well, it's because it's Naruto's story, we can't do that, think about what Boruto said in the very beginning, in the opening monologue that never got animated. He said that this is my story. This is not the story of the boy that became Hokage. And Kishimoto and Ikimoto have both said on more than one occasion there's a intention narratively to make Boruto the opposite of Naruto. So if Naruto's story ended on a happy ending, that's why I say we cannot fully rule out a bittersweet ending. This is a Shadow Hokage story where the protection of people might mean erasing yourself. And if Boruto actually embraces death in this way, it would cement him, in my opinion, as one of the more complex characters in terms of shonen protagonists. So is Boruto planning to die once and for all once Jura falls? I mean, it's possible. Signs point to it. His deal with Momoshiki isn't just about winning. It's about setting the stage for Kawaki to do what must be done. It's tragic, it's brutal, but it's the ultimate expression of Boruto's Shadow Hokage ideals that he inherited from Sasuke, who inherited those ideas from Itachi. He doesn't need credit, he doesn't need love. He just needs the people to know that he cares about them and that he will do whatever it takes in order to make sure that they survive, even if they never learn that truth, even if it means that he himself won't survive. And maybe that's been his destiny all along. Quick reminder, the chapter drops on the 19th this month, but when the spoilers drop, I'll have you guys covered with the chapter review 2 days after the spoiler. In the meantime, click here to check out this Naruto Explained video, or click here to check out videos from other two anime channels where I talk about non-Naruto content.